Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tyler Daniels Racing Back Charities Veterans and First Responders Only League, coming at you live for race number 11 of season 6 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm joined in the booth tonight with my good buddy and co-host Jay Downham. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing really well tonight, Tommy. Glad to be out here in Indianapolis, calling this race from Vermont, right outside of their capital city of Montpelier, about 6 miles west of there. So coming out here and watching these guys go around for I'm not sure how many laps tonight. So we're going to have to bear with us as we get through this together tonight. As we see a car go right down in the inside wall right off the bat. And there's our number 93, Devin Zimmerman, who has been chasing Ethan Thompson, and I haven't seen Ethan on time out there tonight, so it could be a flip-flop. Oh, never mind, as I say that, there he is. So
Asking you shall receive.
he was very, very quiet. I did not see his name, and then all of a sudden he just popped up. So, all right, back to you, Tommy.
Yeah, I think he just got out there, finally getting some warm-up laps in. We're about 15 minutes left to go in practice. Already 11 cars on track, putting on laps. I think isn't that only one? Maybe 2 or 3 drivers that haven't quite put a lap time down yet.
Yeah, as we're just rolling through, as there's this. Whoop. Well, there was. Oh, there he is again. Okay, that's Todd Danbury out there.
A little bit of a connection issue there.
Maybe so, as he's in the 069 tonight. And there's somebody who I haven't seen in a while out there. It's Tanner Lee's back out there.
Good to see him coming back out and making some laps, trying to get some more experience to take on some of these big names we see every week.
Absolutely. The home of Randall. Hello, how are you? Sister Suki. Hello, Tommy and Jay. So how are you tonight, Sharon? Glad to have you back out here supporting us and helping us bring it home tonight. So Ryan Shelton, as we see, is on top of the leaderboard. Yeah, there's no surprise there, huh, Tom?
No, we see him bring a lot of speed. We saw him absolutely dominate last week. But we're not at a road course. That seems to be his specialty. We're back to 4 corners, 4 very distinct corners here today. And all of the straightaways are the same size, as long as you're looking at long ones versus short ones.
That's right.
Is that the best way to explain that?
You probably hit the nail on the head, but missing the point entirely. So there you go. Good explanation. No, but it's going to be. I'm not going to say Indianapolis is not one where it's really too exciting, but there should be some good racing going on. Maybe we can catch up good points battles going on. Something should happen to get sideways, out of shape, bad call. Who knows? I mean, what the future can hold for these guys, but Indianapolis is definitely one of those that's not, you're not side by side, not beating and banging, not like we had last week or the past couple weeks. These guys are going to get spread out, and it's just a matter of putting down the lap times, hitting those marks on pit road, not doing what Paul Vosberg there, who's coming out of 4 and putting it down the front. When these guys are together, that's about the only time that you're going to, it's the only time you're really going to see any type of action where these guys are going to pass each other. So all we can do is just sit back, watch, and see who can bring it home tonight. Tyler Daniel times in, and hello Tommy and Jay. Hello Tyler, how are you tonight, buddy?
I hope you're doing okay, bud.
Yeah, we come in with heavy heart with Tyler, and just want to let everybody know, just keep your Tyler Daniels and his family and your thoughts and prayers if you believe, because he's going through a tough time right now. But it's good to see him out here and supporting these guys. I mean, we could take his mind away from that for just a few laps here and a couple hours.
Well, 12 minutes left in practice. Ethan Thompson has dethroned Ryan Shelton on the leaderboard.
Don't let that fool you. I think that's just the fool's gold right there. Is we've seen Ryan Shelton come out and fall to the back and pull to the front, but you never know. Ethan Thompson may actually have something for Ryan Shelton. Devin Zimmerman's a half a second behind. These guys could be trying to find that little bit of extra speed going through 1, 2, and 3 and 4, as they are the same in all aspects, but the way you approach them is completely different. So you can either gain or lose speed. It seems to be that you're carrying more speed into 3 and 4, and that's where a lot of people make mistakes, is down in 3 and 4. Whereas 1 and 2, I'm not sure, it's just because you have something like a mark or something that you can actually tell with the going down the front stretch where your braking is a little bit different.
Oh yeah,
But they
having
should
a brake marker
actually,
can help a lot.
yeah, and that should actually be, that could be the difference because you're getting more woed up going into one than you are into three, and you carry that speed, and that's when you come out and you. A lot of guys get
Whoops.
loose like you do there, or tight like you did there, and take too much speed and tap that outside wall. So
Reckon
there you
gonna
go.
go ahead
Asking
and
you
bring
shall
that in.
receive, right, Tommy? There you go. There's a gift from Devin Zimmerman on what I was doing talking about down there. So Puppet Man says he cannot hardly hear Tommy. Tommy, I'm gonna turn your volume up there a little bit, bud.
Well, that's about
Or
as
turn me
loud.
down.
That's as loud as I can get, I think. Let me see if I can put some buttons over here. Mess around with that a little bit. Robert Cochran looking good out there today.
Yeah, Robert is he's a staple out here. See him out here every week, and he runs laps, and you never know when it's going to be his time. But he's always consistent, and it's glad to see. I'm really happy to see Robert Cochran out here in that number 90 Navy car.
That finally made it onto the track.
I think you should do a reverse ski. Maybe you should do the pink with the green highlight instead of the green with the pink highlight. Just to confuse you, Tommy, so we don't know where he's at.
Now you can see him from all the way up here, that's for sure.
There's a message out there for you, Tommy. Ethan's trying to reach you. Can you go to Racecom 1? Not sure if you can go down there to talk to him.
I'm unable to.
But you do that, no, actually, if you do that, they're going to hear your entire conversation.
That's
so,
right.
Ethan.
So I'm going to have to stay right here and send
Yeah.
a Facebook message. We'll see if that works.
Yeah, so can somebody relay the message, Puppet Master, relay that to Ethan that we can't move Tommy out of the booth, or you're going to hear every part of the conversation.
And Jay wouldn't be able to watch the awesome footage of showing him over on
No.
the little TVs he calls the race from.
That's right. I feel like I'm in like the backup camera tonight compared to my normal setup that I have. But we'll do the best we can. We've done it before. It's not like I'm a rookie at going there, but there's number 78. And on the front of that hood is something very special, Tommy. I guess we're going to maybe allude to that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so we all know Brian Boyd typically runs the Mission 22 piece. We all know the cause behind that is that's how many veterans lose a day due to suicide. As he said before, that number is far too high. On Brian Boyd's hood is Sergeant Fred Arcera. We're going to have a silent lap on lap 22 just to remember his life. He was a good friend of Brian Boyd's and just been having a tough time with it. So we'll do that to honor him for his service and his sacrifice. So we'll have that coming up.
Absolutely. So that is a silent lap on lap 22 to honor Mission 22 and Sergeant Fred Sarah. As you see, Sheldon's back on top. 6/100ths of a second. So 6/100ths of a. Oh, he just tapped the wall too.
You haven't seen a lot of guys getting loose coming off before there.
All right. Not a betting man, but looks like we may see a little bit of action tonight.
Maybe just a little bit.
Either that or just getting it out of the way, pushing as hard as they can. They're going to back off during the race and prove us wrong again. As usual.
Well, we should see a lot of single file racing here. So a lot of the racing that we are going to see is going to be driver versus track, kind of chasing each other down. Passing here can be difficult.
Yeah, very well can be. You have to really have a good run coming out of the corner down the straightaway and then kind of try and outbrake that guy going down into that either corners 1 or corner 3 to get him out of the groove. If you can get up and in their groove, which is typically the bottom to middle, that forces them up, and that's really going to take away that momentum that they would have. They're going to have to brake a little bit later than normal and totally throw your rhythm off. And it does take a little bit to get that rhythm back though once you go high around here. So unless you can let that guy go and underneath you and then fall back, get your rhythm, and then try and chase him down, that's about the only way that I can see passing here.
You get a little bit of draft here on the longer straightaways too, which you really got to be tucked up behind that front car.
Yeah, the draft is going to play into effect. I mean, you are able to draw up on that car if you follow him long enough. I think Ethan just kind of backed out of it, and he's going to head down. Didn't even make it to pit. He ain't going to try. He's just going to stop there and go, okay. There's Chuck McDonald, our Canadian driver there, and the Canadian Forces. He's Air Force as well. A lot of Air Force guys out here. We need more. We have Army, we have Air Force,
Well,
we have firefighters.
a lot of similarities between a race car and an airplane. Lots of speed, lots of fancy gauges to look at.
It just seems that our Air Force guys seem to really know how to, I don't know, they always seem to be at the top of the leaderboard. So we need a Army guy to get in here and kind of mix it up with these guys and show them that, you know, Air Force ain't it down, shoot them down a little bit and bring them back to them. Fight on the ground, you know what I'm saying?
Paul
We need a
Rosberg-
Marine.
Paul Rosberg looking good sitting at P6 today.
Yeah, Paul's been doing really well. He had a top 10 last week. Good to see Captain out here. He's been, you know, actually moving the schedule so he can come out and race with these guys as much as he can. I mean, obviously, real world are going to have emergencies and stuff like that, but for the most part, he's out here. Him and Jessica always show up, so good to see them out here. He's getting better, definitely getting better. But another guy that I'm keeping an eye on is Brian Boyd. He puts in a tremendous amount of work, a tremendous amount of practice, and he is very fast. He is kind of like a sleeper, kind of like an Andy Bisnet. If something should happen, he's like, there's guys that are right there fighting it out. And then another guy you can't ever count out is Chuck McDonald, because he will, I don't know, Chuck, yeah, they are definitely going to put some, this could be an interesting night.
It seems like every car I go to is going down to the pits for one thing or another.
Everybody's going to, we're going to make money tonight because all the drivers are going to send you money, not to, oh, as we see, there's another one getting loose. So they are getting loose. There's a goose coming out of the house. Yeah, they're going to pay us money not to show them on camera. Or who they want on camera more tonight, I guess. Ian Roberts chimes in, hey everyone, let's go Vosberg. Andy Biz chimes in, let's have fun tonight everyone. Absolutely. Jim chimed in, hi Tommy and Jay. #1 fan, Sister Sookie, so yep. And so we're gonna have fun tonight. Jim's out there watching. I know he had a good night. Last night I heard Nick Gas and Go series behind Ethan Thompson and Adam Rickey, so he had a good night last night.
That's good to be into.
Getting a lot of static. I'm not sure if that's myself or Tommy.
I think that may have been my mouth. There's so much going on over here on one screen. Is that better?
No, kind of.
How about this?
That's better right now.
That's
Okay,
good.
we lost. What'd you do? Stand next to a fan?
No, I think my headset's finally going out on me.
You're falling apart over there.
Well, when you use stuff too often, it tends to break.
Right. All right. Well, we got 2 minutes left here, so you know what time that is.
Oh yeah, gotta pay those bills.
Gotta pay the bills. So I guess we'll start out with our #1 sponsor, as always, in McConey Setup Shops.
Jeff McConey, a man who needs no introduction to the TDR community, hugely generous to the TDR and the iRacing community as well. Their company offers everything from setups. They have a paint shop, they have how-to guides, coaching sessions, and apparel. Check them out, McConeySetupShop.com. Their setups, your victory.
Back charities.
Yeah, back charity's a little thing that Andy and I started to do to help direct some of the outreach to the TDR community or provide charitably and just help make the dollars make sense. We do teddy bear fundraisers, we got cards for the trip, we did both of those again this year. And we do TDR track days to help put some of these guys together and meet the guys they run with every night, have a good time, and do some good work. Give back with back at backcharities.com.
And then our trophy sponsor, no introduction needed, B&B Wraps.
Yep, B&B Wraps, Jeremy Beichner up there in Pennsylvania, shipping all over the country. So it's not just iRacing wraps. This guy actually does wraps for real race cars. Really any object you can think of, small motors, go-karts, helmets, etc. If you want a wrap, B&B Wraps can get it done for you. Facebook.com/B.B Racing Wraps. From coffee cups to semi-trucks, they can get it wrapped.
That wraps up our sponsors. Don't forget about all the TDR events that we have going on throughout the course of the week. We have Sunday Night Gas and Go. Monday nights is dedicated to the vets. Tuesday nights is the Tuesday Truckin' Series. Wednesday night is the Xfinity Series. Thursday nights we're in the SR8s. Friday night features the Evolve Series. We are getting ready to go into ARCA starting this week. Saturday mornings has Legends cars, and pretty soon, coming up on Saturday nights in October, we will start to have the 87s and some of the older legacy tracks. So don't miss a minute of the action. Come out and join us at Tyler Racing. Join us on Discord. We will hook up with any of the guys. We'll get it figured out for you and get you involved and signed up for all the links that you're interested in.
Yeah, and all the links for that stuff are in the video description. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, see what we're about. We're about having a good time, I'll tell you that. And we're about to go into qualifying here. We'll see who gets
Yes, we are.
this good time on the first lap.
You want to put a quarter on it?
I'm going to go
Before they start.
Ethan Thompson. I think he's going to edge Ryan Shelton out.
I think it's going to be Zimmerman.
They're all hitting the track now.
And just a heads up, there was a penalty infraction that's going to be handed out to Ryan Shelton tonight. He will be starting in the back of the field for jumping the start last week.
Oh, I'm yeah, there was a jump.
You're cracking really bad, Tommy.
Is this better?
That's better now, yeah. But you were cracking like really bad.
Well, hopefully it'll stay where it needs to be right
Just don't move your head.
now. Easier said than done.
Right. Now, but as mentioned, Ryan Shelton will be having an EO penalty handed out for jumping the start last week. So that ought to be an interesting way to watch him go through the field. Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson, if they put it up front, I mean, they could get an early jump on it, and it could end up flipping the leaderboard here.
Yeah, an unfortunate race for that to happen and for Ryan Shelton too. We know he's fast and maybe capable of driving through the field. This is a very difficult place to pass and track position.
Yeah, and this is also another place where you can get in that trouble, as we've seen these leaders deal with those season after season, race after race. It seems like when we come to the smaller tracks, we're okay, but when we get to these bigger tracks, they're trying to get all they can. They overshoot the pit. They just mistime that brake pedal a little bit, and it hurts them. We've seen it week in and week out, and that has actually caused some of our top drivers to flip-flop position and gain wins over one another, from speeding penalties down pit road, overshooting the pit. So it's going to be an interesting watching what's going to happen tonight as we're getting ready. And say here as Devin Zimmerman puts it on pole so far. Vosberg is in second, Andrew Bisnet. We're seeing there, comes home third right now on the leaderboard. And there's Ryan Shelton getting out there, one of the Coney setup top drivers. Who comes out here, he had a little bit of issues throughout the season. Not really going to be a threat to the championship, but can definitely upset somebody else's points and get in between them as he keeps his car near the front. So I know there's a few drivers that are fighting for position, and you know, every point matters. So if he happens to, you know, push one head, one back, or get in between you, that's that extra valued point. That could mean 9th and 10th, 6th, 7th, 4th, 5th, and even 3rd and 2nd on the leaderboard. So you just never know. Points matter.
Ethan Thompson taking the pole away from Devin Zimmerman.
So Thompson's putting down a good lap there, 52.81.
Dig into their second laps around this track.
First lap they usually say is throw away, get your tires heated up, get your rhythm going, and then the second lap is when you usually go for it.
Yeah, it says you get 2, but most drivers only use that last one.
Most of them.
What we call the hot lap.
My hot lap is usually the first one because the second one I go sideways, I mess it up somehow, I hit the wall, I'll take it. So here comes Ethan, is he going to maintain? There's Ryan Boyd.
We're in 5 so far.
His net's up there in 4th though. So he could be a sleeper tonight. All within a second of each other, so it's not like, you know, getting away. 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th, and 6th are right there. I mean, they're within a 10th of each other.
Brian Boyd should be bringing in his second lap now.
Alright, so he just passed by a 10th of a second over Andrew Bisnet. Ryan Sheldon's not going, he got his laps in, but every week he seems to stay out there and get more and more practice. And
He's just giving us a little show to watch in that little bit of downtime between when they're done qualifying and when the green flag drops.
So 6 cars took a lap. And you said there was 11 on the field tonight, so there's still 5 that have not. Todd Danbury, Tanner Lee, we know, has not been out there. I have not seen Chuck McDonald, Cochran. I haven't seen Robert Cochran's name up there.
Yeah, I did see Tanner Lee did come out a little bit, but I think he may have had additional good activity to scrub the laps off the
That's going to be an interesting back of the pack when you look at it, because you have, Chuck McDonald and Robert Cochran tend to run together. Most weeks they run together, so you can usually find them either battling for position, battling for track positions and things like that. Unless you're trying to do. There's Chuck McDonald coming, so maybe he's going to. Maybe he waited, got a little bit of figured out something, asked somebody what they were experiencing, had to do an adjustment, and going to try it again.
Yeah, sometimes it helps to get a little bit of feedback from the guys that have been out there. Be like, what's the track like in this temperature? How does it feel? Maybe get some pointers from them before they go out there and take that.
What do you run in? The offset, are you doing any offset? What's your braking? What's your pinion? I mean, with these are master cylinders. What's your master cylinder locate? There's a whole bunch of different variables that a lot of people use. And sometimes it feels good for a driver, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's just a matter of
Especially braking. Now with the addition of the 5th gear, whether or not people are shifting off seems to be the largest variable between drivers and the information.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these guys do. And they should shift from, I would imagine, 5th to 4th in the turns. It's going to give them that little bit of slowing the car down. You can use the engine to kind of slow you down, plus have that horsepower going through. Stay in 5th.
It might be low enough here to bring it downshift in, but again, you might be sacrificing some time with that downshift.
Yeah, I guess that's what you're comfortable with. So, I mean, if your car starts to go out towards wall, you might want to downshift a little bit, get that engine braking on. It's going to rev the engine up, but you'll be able to carry a little bit more momentum. The only thing is when the shifting part of it, you are going to lose just that split second, which, I guess it's just comfortability over drivability.
To me, it's measuring that split second of shift time loss versus how much actual propulsion you get out of using that motor. Sometimes the RPMs are in the right range where it works out and you actually shoot ahead a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't, where you're just kind of left there shifting your gears, so to speak. About a minute and a half here left to qualify. Several minutes not on the track yet.
And Chuck puts his car in 6th right now on that first lap, so he's going to move up, coming down the line, and at the line, he's going to
He moved
remain in
up
that 6th
personally.
spot. Yeah, he got a better lap, but it just wasn't enough. But 6th, so that's going to put him in that 3rd row.
Love the paint scheme on this car. Ryan Shelton out there just getting every practice lap he can.
What'd they say? Go big or go home?
That's right. While he finishes that out, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get the schedule popped up here. So we are at Indy this week. It will be Richmond next week, and then they take a week off for the Labor Day weekend, and then we have that larger length Talladega race. That'll be on 9/12, followed by the season ender at Michigan. We will be live from 8:15 p.m. Eastern on the dates they race. Same back time, same back channel. Is that what you say?
That's what I say. Same back time, same back channel. While you're at it, if you like what you see, hit that like, hit the share, or the subscribe, hit the share button, hit the notification buttons. That way you do notify when we do go live. There is talks in the works about actually going and maybe showing a couple of our weekly leagues that, not always on the Mondays, but we may be highlighting a couple other leagues, a race here, a race there, and coming up. And if that does happen, make sure you hit that notification button so you know when we go live. And like I always say, share us with everybody that you know. Let's get these guys out there, get them all the exposures that they can. Anything that you can to help them out because they support and help you out, that would be great. You don't have to necessarily like us. Maybe somebody else will. We're crazy enough up here. Usually this first part of it, we're very boring. I'll admit that. I pretty much put myself to sleep listening back to it during the week. But as the race gets rolling, I mean, it does tend to pick up. So now's the time to grab the popcorn and get all the adult beverages and kid beverages that you can. Maybe cold glass of water. Just don't drink it from the Caloosahatchee River. I learned that that's one place you don't want to drink water from. That's
No,
how I
thanks.
went nuts.
I'll take a Capri Sun, thanks.
An Okeechobee or Caloosahatchee cocktail. So there you go. As we see Ryan Shelton there, gonna go to the back with that EOL penalty. So our pole sitter was going to fall to the back.
That will
That will.
Thompson to pole.
And right there on the outside is Devin Zimmerman, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Devin Zimmerman takes over the bottom lane, which would be the pole spot, but there you go. Devin Zimmerman sits on that bottom spot. And Ethan Thompson to the outside, starting second. And then behind him would be Andrew Bisnet, and there's Brian Boyd. Here's Andy in your favorite car.
Oh yeah.
And then behind Brian Boyd is Mr. Paul Weisberg in Smokey the Bear car. And then Chuck McDonald sitting in the 6th spot. Don't forget, everybody moves up a spot, so on that leaderboard, it's not going to show it right now. And that is
Brad Hunt.
Bradley Hunt. Mission 22 car. And then right beside him is number 90, Robert Cochran.
That'll give us
Tanner Lee, and it's Funky Little Camaro, or Camry, and then Todd Danbury. And then starting in the back on the back of the field is Ryan Shelton. So that'll be fun to watch as we're getting ready to go green here.
Yeah, see, they got him queued up one car ahead of Todd Danbury. And argue with EOL there.
No, I think it's the inside line. You have to be on the inside line as the pace car dives down pit road. We're going to go to the front right there. It goes, and 3, 2, 1.
There they go.
And they're off. As
Where
far
is
as
that
roar to
ring
life
going?
going down, right? Todd Danbury really falls to the back, gives Ryan Shelton that launch pretty much get around. So it's not going to take Ryan long to get back around in front, it looks like, as he's just passed pretty much half the field going in turn 1. But we see Devin Zimmerman get into Brian Boyd on the first lap. I don't think that was intentional. I just really didn't think that Brian Boyd gave him enough room down there. Devin Zimmerman might have pushed up a little bit, considering we've seen a lot of these guys get loose throughout the practice run. Yeah, Robert Cochran pretty much, I mean, Sheldon caught up to him, but then Robert got a good little run and then was able to maintain that position going down the backstretch and hold him off a little bit. But we have seen Robert Cochran take on Ryan Sheldon at Michigan and get around him, so it's not like he's a stranger to, you know, Ryan Sheldon, or is he one that's just going to let him go by, but when he gets that position, obviously he will. It's Ethan Thompson now, Brian Boyd, and there's Devin Zimmerman that are going side by side down in turn number 1 as it reverses a roll. Brian Boyd just slides up a little bit, just taps that outside. Or maybe it didn't get into him, but maybe it looked like it got into him there from that angle that I saw and just pushed him up the track, but that could have been a little, because that's going to go underneath Devin. But Devin, we noticed, that was loose throughout the first part of that run, because it looked like he got a little bit up the track, so he might have been chasing it up there. Maybe after a few laps, those tires will start to come in and he'll make his way back around as we see him now go back on his net down that front stretch. Ethan's out to almost a 2.5 second lead right now, so he's really 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds.
The more he looks in the mirror, the more he likes what he sees. I know that.
Yeah, these guys are fighting, and that's definitely going to give him that lead because he has nobody in front of him. Plus, he's got clean air. And I think that the dirty air around these cars, especially in this corner here, it's kind of like turn 2 in Pocono. You have that dirty air, and that car just does not want to turn. You got to kind of get it in the clean air.
Yeah, get a little bit of air on that nose, kind of help get those front tires planted and actually do their job.
Yeah, you get that on the splitter, and yeah, if you take that away, these cars, obviously, I think you can see right there is just Devin's just fighting it, trying to get all he can out of it, but yeah, try not to hit any walls. So.
It looks like he's running maybe a quarter of a lane higher than the other cars around. I wonder if it might be a little bit higher too.
It also might be to help that downforce on the car too.
That's very.
So try and get as much clean air as you can. So those front tires are at least planted on the ground. I hope you turn a little bit better.
Ducking and diving there, looking for an opening. Brian Shelton.
Denbury must have had an issue because I saw him coming out of pit road. He's 1 lap down, so he's back in the pits, and so is Tanner Lee. So those two. Not sure what happened with those two, but they definitely are in early, way early, lap 4, unless I'm not sure what this fuel is, but I don't think that you can go 85 laps on a full tank. So.
I don't think so. Normally set up at least one.
Yeah, it's a little bit too early for that, especially to go down a lap this early for each one of them, so something must have happened in between the two of them. Back there.
Camera lock on there, pretty much see second, third, sixth place, and seventh place back there. Tail on Ryan Shelton.
Yeah, and like I said, Ryan's got plenty of time to get around these guys and work his way to the front. As you can already tell, he's already back up into the 5th position, 4th position. Or 6th, I'm sorry, 6th fighting with Chuck McDonald there, so there's plenty of time.
Open up a little separation between him and now Andrews is at third place.
Yeah, those two are. Ned's just been working his way to the front. Boyd's got a good run going. Biznet's got a good run going. Devin Zimmerman, like I said, must be fighting something with that car right now to settle in.
Oh, really not giving Devin a moment to breathe here. He's on the tail of Devin Booker. Not quite there. And then Ryan Shelton behind them, both of them.
Yeah, as we see Ryan now just trying to get up underneath Chuck McDonald. He's going to get him underneath. Definitely going to turn number 3, just at that back quarter panel. That was interesting because it looked like he had his quarter panel and then Chuck just drove away. So maybe with that draft from the help from Devin Zimmerman kind of held Ryan off. I'm going to try it again. Chuck gets really high. I'm not sure if he scraped the wall with that. That was really, really close. good little battle back here.
Yeah, definitely locked bumper to bumper here. Good to see a top ender coming off. Oh, second off with a little
Ooh.
something down low.
Ryan finally gets underneath Chuck. He's going to push him up. And now he's going to lose that help from Devin, especially down in the corners.
Not
But he's
giving
got him
it
on the
up.
back. No, he's got that. He's got that draft coming off of Devin down that backstretch. So that draft is going to play into effect. So really, it's kind of who does Devin want behind him, Chuck or Ryan Shelton right now? So
I would vote for neither in this situation.
but Chuck's really hanging in there. He's definitely proven that he can race. As you see, Andrew Bissett trying to break that draft from those guys down the front stretch. It's an old IndyCar move that those guys perfected over the years. That's true. When in Rome, do as the Grecians do. That's what I say. He's just going to try and break that draft. It's mainly down the front stretch. I don't really see him going down the back stretch doing that. He pretty much hit up against the wall. But yeah, I mean, clearly once Ryan got around, Shelton got around, yeah, Chuck McDonald caught right up to Devin Zimmerman, because those two are now chasing down the third spot of Andrew Bissett. And that's something that Bissett does not want to see in his mirror. These two looking, I mean, talk about looking down the barrel of a gun. That's like a double barrel shotgun right down there. He's looking down.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you see those two in your rear view mirror. So you just got to be calm, just got to be cool. He knows how to drive a race car. He's proven that he can beat these guys before. You just got to hang in there and don't let them intimidate you. Keep doing his line.
Stay perfect and run your race.
That's it. And just concentrate on that car in front of you. Turn off your mirror and concentrate on that 78 in front of you. Brian Boyd. As Brian Boyd has been doing really well tonight. That second spot.
Yeah, and slowly not giving him time off. Yeah,
They've been maintaining right about 2 seconds. It depends on what part of the straightaway and what the braking zone is. As we see now, Ryan Shelton's going to go the outside. Ooh, there it is. Oh,
that's 2 of them. 3
that's
of them.
a
That's gonna
caution.
draw yellow.
All right. Well, I don't want to go down in the driver's meeting right now because that's.
Oh yeah, what a mess.
It looked like. That really looked like Devin just tried to get that side draft and try and pull Ryan. See him trying to take that side draft off of him.
And trying to put a little air, got a little bit too
And
close.
just got a little bit too, yeah, a little bit too aggressive and just got that. So that's going to definitely hurt. But they do have the quick repair. So after Ryan Shelton started in the back, drove his way back up to 4th.
Well, now he'll have a buddy to
I don't-
drive all the way back to the front with.
That's right, says Devin Zimmerman. That ought to be a fun little battle to watch as those two are drug. Now they get from enemies to friends, so I guess they're frenemies now. Got to go in and get your thing and work your way back up front. So, yeah.
Good damage on that car.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard lick.
Here I'm sputtering through the corner there. You kind of have to come in and get that fast repair.
I'm really surprised that there's no smoke coming out of the back of that car, because he took a licking on that front.
Well, the night's still young.
But no, I mean, Ethan Thompson led from the green flag, pushed and maintained just over 2 seconds, so he's really not running away with it. Brian Boyd was right there, and he started, what, in the second row, so he got himself back up there on the start, and having a good night, for sure, running in that second spot.
Chuck McDonald also went through some repairs there. Tires and fuel.
Yeah, you saw when he stopped that the,
Yeah, he just caught the tail end of that wreck there.
yep, both of them are going to use their quick repair, so. See how that plays out. Chuck McDonald, he's doing good. He didn't let him go, man. He fought right there, so he did not back down one bit. Made him go around him, so good job for Chuck.
I think Chuck
Getting up
might be
there.
getting optionals.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's saving his quick repair.
Yeah, that's
Because I mean, it
Not
is a
always a
long
bad
lap run.
strategy. Pretty
It
early
is
on
a
in the
long
race.
time. Especially around Indianapolis. And if you only have 26, 27 seconds, you have minor damage, where you just maybe tap the outside wall, which I thought I saw him do earlier when he was running with those guys.
See Chuck
And that just might be
pulling
it.
off now. Trying to stay ahead of the field so he doesn't lose his lap.
Said it is a long way around here, 2.5 miles, so.
Car looks pretty clean from up here.
Yeah, like I said, he might have just tapped that outside and just got a little bit of sheet metal damage that he saw inside the car, maybe a little bit of a wrinkle. And like I said, only 15 to 26 seconds of repair. Instead of taking the full-on quick repair, just go ahead and take your optional and get that sheet metal knocked out of it. And you still have your quick repair in case something should happen later on in the race.
Ryan Shelton down for his quick repair. See Bradley Hunt also on pit road. Todd Denver has been on pit road for a minute. And that would put Tanner Lee 1 lap down, so I think he's looking for the wave around here.
Or the lucky dog. You might have got the lucky dog.
Look at him getting his lap back. There we go.
So either got, yeah. Had to have gotten a lucky dog. I think it was just him and Danbury that were just laps down. And something that had to have happened earlier in the race in between those two. I know Todd kind of fell back early in the race at the start.
Chuck McDonald back on.
Maybe he has more options he got to take care of. Seems odd though, because it didn't seem like he really hit anything that we saw unless there was more damage after the fact. And we were concentrating on that battle, but everything looks good on the car.
Looks pretty straight to me.
And goes a lap down? That's an interesting strategy.
Not sure why that happened, but it did. That'll put Ethan Thompson up front.
So you're going 1 lap to green.
Let's put Andrew Biznett on pit road. Okay. Brian
All
Wood
right.
to Paul Bosberg up to P3. Robert Cochran P4. Ryan Shelton now sitting P5, just ahead of Devin Zimmerman. Andrew Biznett still on pit road.
We're going down the backstretch, so we got about a half a lap before we start to see the green flag. That's
Chuck McDonald now cycling out. Andrew Biznett still on pit road. Wondering if he might be, oh, there we go. Rolling out
optionals.
just ahead of the field, I reckon.
Optionals? Did something happen on caution?
Something may have happened to him off camera when we were busy watching the other festivities.
As they're coming out of, or going into 3, and he's coming out. I mean, it's going to be a tall order for him to get back.
I don't know if he'll have the momentum to come around, or maybe he knows something we don't. It's time to determine.
I don't know. Maybe he's gone. It's hard to say at this point. Pace car's not back on pit road. Ethan Thompson
Back to green.
gets a huge launch out there in that restart zone. Over Brian Boyd and Paul Vosberg. Good to see Paul up there. So absolutely in 3rd spot. But right on his heels is Ryan Shelton and Robert Cochran. So Shelton has something to prove. He's definitely going after Ethan tonight. Behind Robert Cochran there is Devin Zimmerman. But Paul's on the inside. Cochran's on the outside. That's got to take that little bit of extra brakes, that way you don't travel up the track and get into that guy in front of you. On the top side he is, so top.
Now,
So
sorting out right away.
So in a matter of 15 laps, goes from back to mid-pack to wrecking in the front stretch back to second.
Look at him go.
70 laps to go. So now Ethan's really got to put the pressure on himself. And since he had a little bit of a run earlier, he's going to have now Shelton to contend with. So we got Ryan Boyd now up to third, who was in third before. He's been having a good night. Ran second most of that first run up till the caution. Running third, so still running in top 5 position. But not letting them get away either, so still within 2 seconds of the leader. Jim puts down and he said, I like to be a mouse in Discord and just listen. And Jessica chimes in, good job, Paul. So absolutely, Paul is doing a great job out there tonight. He's staying out of trouble and just running with these guys. So, I mean, starting second, you got to get up there sometime, and he's just keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble, and that's the way to do it. As now we see Devin Zimmerman get down underneath Robert Cochran. He's going to try and take him down to turn number 3. We're at 16 of 85.
He's been looking for the inside of Robert here for a few laps before he finally made this move. I don't think Devin quite has the car he wants to have here, or maybe he's just going back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we know he likes to save his equipment, but I don't know if you can really save too much here. Just the way that the track, and you have to be up front. If you want to be competitive and there at the end, you have to stay with that lead pack. You can't let them get drafted too far. You're going to have help getting there. And I know Cochran's quick. We know Vosberg is quick. We know Hunt can be quick. Cochran. I mean, so if you find a drafting partner who can go with you, you can get back up there. But if not, you're just trying to save your equipment and hope that they fall back to you. That's not a good, I don't think that's one of the best strategies here, and I seriously doubt that that's on anybody's mind tonight. Sharon chimes in, let's go Ethan and Ryan, so Shelton.
Right behind the two we're watching, Bradley Hunt just outside the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are, Paul Vosberg is doing a great job. Over the past few seasons, he's slowly gotten better. He is a part-time driver, so he's not out here like all the time. Can't put in a ton of practice during the week out there fighting fires and stuff like that. But when he does come out here, you know, every lap is more and more experience. And absolutely, I mean, if you can get top 5, top 10, and he has a couple of top 10s going in, top 5, you know, you got to start moving yourself forward a little bit. And Captain Paul Vosberg is doing that. It's great to see him out here. I like him race. He's a very clean racer. He keeps himself out of the trouble, and you know, actually provides a little bit of excitement there. I think it was a Daytona race last year, racing with Ethan for the lead and going into it on the last lap. So good to see him out there getting the confidence, getting these laps in, and moving through the field. Obviously, all these guys out here, we love to see them every week, every Monday. The vets, first responders, active military. So, that's
Ryan Sheldon is gaining ever so slightly on Thompson first and second, and Ryan Boyd now 1.5 seconds back from second place. So still kind of racy up front. They've kind of sorted themselves out, but I think all the action right now is right here.
Yeah, as you can see right there, Paul Vosberg's getting up under Bradley Hunt, so he was kind of looking a little bit racy, and that's a good job. I see that 21 out there. Then you got Chuck McDonald, who is now. I thought we saw Chuck go a lap down, didn't we? Okay, he is a lap down. Okay, he is a lap down.
He had that double stint on pit road for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Like, he maybe had a little more options than he thought. I don't know. But it was kind of an odd strategy to go out and then end up going a lap down anyway. You should, in my opinion, if you were knew you were going to do that, you should just stay, got all your options done out the way, and then go back out. But what do we know, right? We're just announcers.
It's just goofy TV guys.
Right, we're coming up at 20 of 85 So in 2 laps, we will be doing a silent lap in honor of Fred Acero. So stay tuned for that. Ethan Thompson now. I mean, Ryan Shelton is not really gaining. I mean, he got around everybody now. He's got that clean air too.
He's
Ethan
gaining
Thompson.
ever so slightly. He's been hovering around that 1 second back mark.
Definitely carries more speed through the corner. But then it looks like Ethan may have the equalizer on the way out. He may have more exit speed than entrance speed. Right behind him is
lap 22 here. I am going to log on to the hood of this car. This is Brian Boyd in 3rd place. And when they come around the corner and hit the line this time by Jay and I will be silent in memory of Sergeant Fred Sarah. Coming out of 4 now, and you see Sergeant Fred Sarah there on the hood of Brian Boyd's car. Here we go. Took a lap around with Sergeant Fred Sarah, 840 battalion. Get the camera pulled back up, and we'll get one more quick look at back in Brian Boyd's car as well. You see the Warrior project on there. Sergeant Fred Sarah, private first class, goes around. And normally he would have the Mission 22 logo on the hood that we can see on Bradley Hunt's car. For anyone who doesn't know, Mission 22, the 22 on that hood is the number of veterans that take their own lives every year. That number is way too high. So if you'd like to do something about it, go check out their respective websites, see everything they're about and what they do. Thank these drivers for supporting such a great cause.
absolutely. And there's another driver that we normally have out here, Ryan Walter, also carries the 22. Is also a Mission 22 driver. Ryan's been going through some stuff, and our thoughts and prayers are also with him and his family. So,
A rough week for race car drivers.
yes, it has. As we see Bradley Hunt now going underneath Robert Cochran, gets a good little run. Here comes.
Paul Bosberg right along with him.
Yeah, I think that might have been a smart move by Robert Cochran not to force that issue too much, because it maybe looks like his car, he doesn't quite have the handle on it. So when you get when you get upset like that and you're forced to the outside, that's one position I want to be in. So it's very smart just to let him go by and then regain your rhythm and then get back after him.
Third place here, Brian Boyd.
As we were taking that lap around with Brian Boyd, it looked like he got loose coming out of 4. So his handle may not have come in on the car. He's just pushing a little bit too hard coming out of 4, because it did wiggle a little bit, and that's allowing Devin Larry there. Yeah, so he's just not having a handle right now on these turns. The tires might be giving way. We are about 21 laps in since the first caution that came out. See, Devin Zimmerman going to dive down on the bottom. Is he going to try and take away, or did he learn his lesson? No more mistakes on the board. So we'll just won't get too close and try and take that that side drifting.
Brian Boyd gave way to Devin right there and let him go. I think Brian Boyd, if he hadn't been that loose coming on out of the corner going actually there, he might have burned up the back tires a little bit. And I wonder, Jay, do you know how important are tires?
Um, should be very important because the amount of momentum that you carry through these turns, you have to rely on those tires to make sure that they stick. It's a relatively flat surface compared to, there's not really a lot of banking in these turns, and you're carrying a lot of turning radius, even though you have that. And I think we're seeing it, and it's playing out, that tires are definitely a key because you have to have them underneath of you and have the confidence in them when you hit the gas, not to spin them. So we've seen that quite a bit tonight.
This one is still the race to watch. Robert Hoffman, Robert Hunt, and Paul Wasserman.
Devin Zimmerman went to the pit. So that's in
Third place.
about 22 laps since the caution came out.
Car disappeared.
He had linked out before, so I wonder maybe there's a
Some kind of connectivity
connection.
issue there. Yeah. Well, hopefully not.
No, because he was working his way back up to the front. And as we see, Ethan Thompson right now just putting down some laps, 27, and that gap that got down to just under a second is now just over a second. So, but 27 of 85, there's still a lot of racing to go, just about 55 laps, 56 laps.
Devin Zimmerman seems like not able to find him on camera.
He is out. He's marked either himself out, but I did notice he was blinking during practice, so there might have been a connectivity issue there.
That's unfortunate. Just works his way back up to third position. Had to come to the pits from to take care of whatever issue he had going on.
Right? I don't think he hit anybody, so I don't think that would have been it, but we saw him blink out a couple times, and then, yeah, he left. So, unfortunate. That's the one bad thing about iRacing is it's all internet dependent, and if you have any storms, any connectivity issues, and there's some could be totally out of your control. I mean, completely out of your control.
I've been on the wrong
Yeah.
side of that equation.
I've been on it a couple times myself. So, absolutely. But no, Ethan Thompson is just maintaining that second gap over there, but they've gotten about a 6-second lead over Brian Boyd. 5 seconds in between Ryan Shelton and Brian Boyd. But Boyd was fighting with Devin Zimmerman, so that maybe hurt his chances just a little bit, but he also was sliding around, and I know that's not helpful either. I'm sure there's going to be at least one pit stop in between now and the end of the race to try and get these guys sorted out, get the remainder of the fuel. Somebody's Tanner Lee going back down pit road. Tanner Lee's troubles continue tonight. Seems like from the drop the green flag, it's been Todd Danbury and Tanner Lee were in trouble. As you see, Paul Bosberg having a really good run tonight. Up there battling him with Robert Cochran, Bradley Hunt. These three have been fighting and swapping positions for a good, 10 laps now. So that's a really good battle through here. And there's a Biznett, who's now coming back up, going to try and join the fun. He's just trying to catch on to that, to the back of that drafting there.
Unusually long pit stop for him, and I don't think he timed the exit, but I think his intention was to time that exit so that once the green flag dropped, he had the momentum to rejoin the back of the field. Didn't work
And
out
maybe
for him, and he had to do it the hard way with a little Sunday drive.
Yeah, I think he misjudged it by about 3 or 4 seconds to try and regain the back of the field to take it out. But I mean, you gotta give him credit though. He was behind quite a bit, and then to just stay patient, stay in these draft. And I know that these guys racing side by side is also helping pull him back forward to them as they interrupt that dirty rear behind them and create more of that force to bring him up to him. So instead of one car that's putting out the air, now it's 2 fans that are sucking in. So he's got 2 little hoovers out there when they get side by side, sucking you closer to that car in front of you.
Seems like Andrew's able to outbrake Robert Cochran on entry there, and Robert has a better drive off.
So that's a good little battle there between Cochran and Bradley Hunt. They've just been swapping position. And Paul, look, Captain Paul moved out away from that now, and he's got over a second lead as those two battle it out. But now you got Andrew Bizzet's coming back up. Bradley Hunt kind of falls back after getting behind Biznet, but hopefully, see here they go side by side now. See that little gap that's going on? Well, this should pull, because now he's got all that air that he can use to close in on either one. So, as you see,
Pass there. Oh, Wasberg's pretty with all that action behind him.
yeah, he is. Captain Paul, man, he's sitting there, 4th position. That is an awesome, awesome run. Good to see Smokey the Bear up there. Now, if he can go put out that fire in between Brian Boyd, Ryan Shelton, and Ethan Thompson, put the hose to him and bring him back. Put the hose to him, pull those guys off, and pull up there. That'd be awesome to see. But it's great. That's awesome to see. And Jessica says Paul has a little spice in him tonight. Uh-oh, she must have taken him down for some Southwest tacos. I know that's something you're a fan of, huh? Those Southwest tacos. There you go. Extra hot sauce. He's got some spice in him tonight. So Jessica must have fed him something good. And hopefully that ankle must be feeling better. I know he rolled it last week and had a tough time. And had a good run there at Martinsville. So that's a tough track to definitely have any type of foot issue at. Any type of issue, whether it be any type of ache, pain. We heard a lot of drivers complain after 200 laps about their shoulder seemed to be about the biggest thing that they were experiencing, just constantly turning on that left-hand turn with that right arm up in the air. So yeah, it'll put some force on it.
No cautions with the brake. It can become a very long time, very quickly.
Yeah, you don't have any time to relax at all. So, as we see, oh, he's got a good run going now. If he could just hook up,
He would
stay
be
single file now.
He would be the freshest set of tires on the track right now. Probably. Ever so slightly more fuel.
Yeah. Well, Chuck McDonald was down there too, so those two would be the ones that I think would be the freshest tires, or yeah, most amount of fuel.
Chuck McDonald.
Right, yeah, that was a call. Like I said, I don't know what happened there. Maybe he just misjudged it. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Is he just misjudged it, trying to get all he could.
By himself, trying to get one back the hard way.
You know, I'm almost thinking, and I'm almost tempted to say it, but I think because we know the two drivers who sat there and tried to go as furthest out are the two known for trying to save their equipment and get as much as they can on a gas run. So I think it could have been a fuel that they maybe shut their cars off.
Oh, yeah.
Got it full, shut the cars off, waited till the last minute, and it could be a fuel run to the end. So we shall see.
I do not have the ability to do that kind of math on the fly. How long do I need to turn the car off to get 3 more laps of gas?
Well, you figure if for every second that you're out there, you're burning, multiply that times the calculator, plus you call your kid in, your 3rd grader who's in calculus right now, that can do all that math in his head and make you look stupid, and then call you out and say, well, if you turn it off for 16 seconds, you can get 6 extra laps. And that could be to the end.
I was watching the telemetry over there. Paul Rosberg was back.
Just
He
tap
was
that outside.
back to the bumper of Andrew Bisnet. Got a little loose because the camera was this direction.
Yeah, and that's going to definitely hurt. We did see him just tap that outside wall, but still having a good run. I mean, top 5, I take it top 5, especially with the caliber competition that's out there tonight.
Oh,
As you see,
absolutely.
Thompson and Shelton. Shelton's down to 0.6 of a second, just over a half a second
Ryan
behind.
might have touched the ball a little bit there.
36 of 85, so in about 10 laps will be halfway. if Andrew Bisnet and Chuck McDonald are our
Andrew
fuel
Bisnet
strategists are
third.
still going to need a. Still
Brian
going to
Boyd
need
in
it.
fifth.
Come down on lap 37. Well, we saw him get squirrely earlier when he was racing around Devon. So he may have come down and gotten his pit stop. Just get fresh tires, put fuel in it. I'm curious to see. I'm really interested in seeing what the fuel run would be.
I mean, it's got to be. It's less than 40 laps.
Yeah, extra 2.5 miles. It's kind of like a Daytona, even though you are letting off the gas a little bit, so you may be able to stretch it out a little bit further. But I would imagine even on a full tank, you could get no more than 40 laps.
I wouldn't imagine any more than 40 here.
Because you can what, go 42 at Daytona, Talladega, roughly about that.
Roughly.
I know we need our fuel strategist out there, Jim. Can you please chime in and let us know what the what an average fuel run here at Indianapolis is, please? Thank you. So we need to reach out to our people out there, do a little bit of research for us. Jim is used to be race control, and obviously for other reasons, personal reasons, he's kind of backed off. Got a whole bunch of family stuff. I mean, it's tough racing 7 nights a week. You do have to spend time with family. They do get a little bit mad at you when you're sitting in front of your computer every night with a steering wheel in your hand and wondering why you aren't taking them out or talking to them any longer.
They just don't.
They don't get it. Women just don't understand. And I know my wife is probably listening. I'm probably going to pay for that after this broadcast.
You can pay in kisses.
Yes. With her hand across my face. Ooh, as we see Ryan Shelton now is going to
Lead here.
go down underneath. He's going to push Ethan Thompson up high. Definitely going to have that run, so that should. Yeah, Ethan got loose just out of that groove, so that's. Said you go up there even that half a groove, and that's enough to get that car out of shape and lose your tempo. And now it's going to be Ethan Thompson chasing down Ryan Shelton. And Shelton takes over the lead at lap 39, just before halfway from the back to a spin to back to the front. So
For a moment there, I thought he
40
was going
laps.
to pull off that crossover, but just didn't have enough car underneath him.
No, he got loose.
Got a little wild there.
Yeah, and that's a product that we've seen quite a bit tonight when you get into that outer groove there. Either get to the gas too early or just on a little bit too much in that transition from the flat straightaway off that little bit of banking that you have upset the car. But look who's in third and 26 seconds behind is Andrew Bisnet. Paul Vosberg running nicely in fourth. Robert Cochran has a nice top 5 going as those two are battling out. So there's Paul Vosberg right there running in fourth. So good to see him out there. He was chasing down. He found it 2 seconds behind Andrew Bisnet. I don't really see that there's going to be. I would imagine there's got to be another pit stop. I can't really see anybody stretching it out that much.
No, there's no way. Absolutely no way.
All right, so we did getting. Jim says I have no idea what the fuel run is. I'm watching The Bachelorette and listening in my ears to the racing here in my. All right, so family time exactly. There you go. So we got 2 families going on. He's got one eye on The Bachelorette and the other eye on us. So talk about multitasking there. Wow.
Brian Boyd up there between first and second, currently a lap
He
down,
did.
back the hard way.
Yeah, and he did pit, so here's your answer. Tires play key. There it is. He passed Ethan Thompson, and now he's going to go back around Ryan Shelton. So yes, tires are going to be a factor tonight. 40. 3 at the line. That should be about. Is that 42?
Yeah, that's 42. I was just,
Okay.
I was looking over the lap time here. We're about 52, 3 seconds qualifying. Ryan Shelton currently laying down about 55. So I'd say tires are probably giving you about 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, well, they qualified like at 52.4, right? 52. They were in the 52, 50 higher 52s,
Yeah, they were in
52.8,
the
so we went to
52s.
53. 52, 53. So I mean, that's 2 seconds. You add 2 seconds up over a long run. You can make up some time, that's for sure.
You'd have to do it 25 times.
and hope the guy doesn't pit.
Right. There's always that great equalizer. Everybody else has a chance to get tires.
Right? So what a strategy, though. I'm curious. I really am curious to see if Biznet's going to try and take it all the way out. As we should be coming up on halfway this time by.
This will be halfway here at the backstretch.
So there's Andrew Biznet in that 69. Bright green, pink. Your favorite color, and the camouflage.
Yeah, see him all the way up here.
I wonder if you went into the woods to go deer hunting with that, if the deer would actually see you, or if they'd laugh at you.
I don't know. I don't know how their visual receptors would perceive the camouflage they can't see. Right next to that bright lime green they can.
Right? I don't know. That kind of, yeah, camouflage, pink and lime green. But there he is out there running third, 28 seconds behind, so we shall see what his strategy is as we're going to play it down halfway out. So can he make it on fuel? Can he not make it on fuel? That is the question. It's Paul Vosberg now. He's worst spot out there in the Smokey Bear car. I would imagine Paul would probably be coming down and pitting. I know he likes to take it out to the very end, but seeing that Brian Boyd made up almost 2 seconds a lap, if you're losing time to Biznett, I would be pitting, not, I wouldn't say soon, but with enough time that you know you're going to make up something anyway.
Well, we know we had, 3 caution laps around lap 11. So if they pit now, they're good on fuel. And I think, they probably just stretch it out till the tank's dry. Come in, get a splash and go, and be back on their way.
And let's hope that there's not one of those overtimes, because if there's an overtime, that'll totally put a wrench into somebody's system.
And they might want tires. If tires are 2 seconds a lap, if first place goes, second place just about has to. Typically, the first car to peel off and get some rubber is going to lead the procession down the pits, I would think.
And we saw that at Pocono. Pocono was the first in, first out track, as Andy Shaner alluded to when he was up here and pointed that out. And this is kind of like Pocono because turn 2 is actually modeled after this track. So turn 2 of Pocono is the turns in Indy. So first in, first out, we obviously saw that with Brian Boyd getting around, taking 2 seconds lap. Here comes Tanner Lee as well, who came out of the pit, and now he's about ready to put some time on the leader. So you got to know that these leaders have got to be noticing this.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, but it's who's going to be first? You're not going to go in without seeing the other guy do it.
No, so second goes in first. That would have, I would assume, force the leader to go down.
Right,
Now, Biznett is 30 seconds behind. So he would resume the lead, but with 40 laps to go, the leaders would have a chance to most likely catch him at that point by the time they got their fresh tires back out and they were doing, added it back down to that. As Biznett's times are going to go up, they're going to be shorter, so they should be able to close that gap if they should choose that option. Here's Robert Cochran.
Putting in some solid laps today.
Yeah, Robert, he was running the bottom, but we did see his car get loose, and I think that's a product, when the car is loose, you chase that car up the track, so that we're not turning it as much. You're kind of letting that banking do more of the turning, and I think that's just a product of what we're seeing here, but he is still putting down laps. He's out there, he's running top 5 right now. So running in that 5th spot, he's got a nice, comfortable, 7-second lead over Bradley Hunt.
Look how fast Tanner Lee looks right now. Outrunning the leaders.
Yeah, that's the Oh, here's Ethan. He is, all right, so I'm seeing that right now. 39 to go. I would imagine we would see Ethan Thompson coming in the pit soon. Just seeing what I'm seeing out there, if I was a leader, I would be taking notice of that. And then seeing Ethan Thompson, if I was chasing the leader, knowing that my car is getting that way, I might come down and get tires.
Yeah, I think that's the second time we've seen him have a pretty sizable problem.
And don't forget, there's less weight in the back of that car too, so that's not really helping rear end stick to the bottom of the track, is that you get lighter load. So it's definitely not helping out. But if you go in, you give fuel, that's going to plant that back end down. And then if you're getting clean air, then your car is perfectly balanced to get back up there and run some quick laps to catch back up.
I didn't really lose a lot.
And then the other question is, now when he got back up, but he's also using that draft as well. We saw that a couple times I've seen actually. Ethan get a little sideways and then bring it back up. Yeah, he's just maintaining about. Yeah, because it did fall back to within, what, 10, 15 car lengths back, and then slowly brought his way back up. Unless Shelton's like, you know, seeing what he is and just trying to save his equipment and not burn it up as much.
Right there, any lap now, we're going to see some pit strategy go through as Bradley Hunt is taking to pit road.
37 to go. So now that's 3 of the guys that we know of that have come down the pit on this cycle. All right, well, we know Ryan Shelton pretty much used the draft to get through the field. So he probably saved a little more gas, or has a little more gas than Ethan Thompson at this point, because Ethan led all those laps.
Yeah, and especially Ethan now having to be in hot pursuit there and kind of dig, and looks like they're both going down the road right now. Let's see who is going to win this battle.
Yeah, because this is what comes down to week after week, is this battle right here on pit road. They got to hit their marks. Hopefully didn't pull up on wrench air hose and they have any issue there, getting any tires off, the jack don't drop, everything goes smoothly. So now it's just a matter of getting the fuel, 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires.
Oh,
Ryan
yep,
overshoots his pit.
stall.
Ethan gets in. That's going to... Oh. No speeding, but all right. So Ethan's gonna get that jump. He's right there. So there goes Ethan right through, and it's Ryan's gonna come out. But Ryan did chase him down before and get around him. So all right. That's a huge gap. Right now, that's huge.
I was expecting to see Ryan Shelton's car.
I have not seen him yet.
There he is.
There he is. Wow.
Wow.
So that little mistake of backing it up is that much time on the track. Andrew is pitting. Okay, so the strategy was thrown out the window. So this is the last stop. Oh, Paul locked up the tires. I hope he did not get a speeding penalty. That would kind of be something that you don't want to see tonight. And that's another thing. Did Ethan Thompson or Ryan Shelton get a speeding penalty as well? Because we've seen that happen.
They're both out there. They're both moving.
We got 3 laps to serve that black flag. So we shall see.
I think the general protocol, though, is if you do get the speeding penalty, you come in right away, go ahead and take it, get it out of the way, and then go out there and do the best you can with what you have.
Right? Yeah, that's a huge gap. It went from Ryan was leading. I mean, they were within nose to tail of each other, but now it's back to a little over 2 seconds, and there you see Ethan Thompson now doing to the field what the field just did to them as they got their fresh tires. So this goes around Brian Boyd.
Ryan Shelton for 2 seconds back still.
He's going to use that draft from these guys to catch back up, use that momentum. He'll shake and bake, get around him, use that momentum, pull him towards him. Hopefully Ethan get too far ahead. 34 laps to go. It's maybe a tall order, but we shall see. Never know.
A little bit of work to get done, but if anybody can do it, we know he's one of them. You see Brian Boyd fading slightly. I think that's because of the old rubber that he's on.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones in on that last stint. But don't forget, even though they're not fighting for the lead, they are fighting for positions out there, so any little bit helps. Ethan Thompson is now. Brian Boyd wasn't second. So after it all shakes out, Brian Boyd, but we just saw Shelton get around Boyd, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tracking Boyd behind at the time. I think the scoreboard might update when they come across the line this time.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, because it should be Ethan Thompson, Ryan Shelton, and Brian Boyd, because we saw Thompson get around. I mean, Shelton get around Brian Boyd.
There we go. Yeah, the telemetry looked accurate. It just wasn't making a lot of sense.
Alright, so there's your gap in between the leader, Bradley Hunt, and Robert Cochran. They've been fighting for position all night long. It's good.
Doing his best to get around this high traffic.
Yeah, and that's just holding him up even more from getting to Ethan Thompson. So it's just going to give him that little bit of extra cushion for Ethan Thompson. Now it's going to be a chase down because there's nobody else there to help him unless he can get the help. Those three cars can hook up and not get around each other. They may be able to pull themselves right back up to it, but
Ethan Thompson's going down. He's many cars between him and Ryan Shelton. He can't. As quickly.
yeah, maintain that gap, that's for sure. Ethan Thompson holds just over, well, it was a little over about 2.25. Now it's back down to under 2, so he is going to chase him down. I'll use that draft now. Ethan just needs to play that wiggle room. Try and break that draft off of Ryan going down the front stretch. Doesn't look like Shelton's got too much help there from Robert Cochran, but like I said, there's two. Bradley Hunt and Robert Cochran are actually helping Ryan Shelton right now, moving him forward.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Robert Cochran is one lap in the deficit breath.
Yeah, Robert Cochran and I. Well, they were. So Hunt must have. Hunt's in 5th, 1 lap down. Bisnet, who we saw take his pit stop. So right now, Bradley Hunt, Chuck McDonald. So Bradley Hunt would have the lucky dog, taking that away from Chuck McDonald. So Chuck's now got to catch up to Bradley Hunt, get around him, and get his lucky dog position back. 30 laps to go right now. There's Captain Paul is hanging. Yeah, having a good night time. Back to 7th. So after his brown pit stops. Well, that didn't work out in Brian Boyd's favor to come out because now he's got quite a big gap in between him and Bisnet.
Multi-second gap there. Brian Boyd might be losing track position. But that lead is dwindling.
Yeah, it's these strategies that always get him. Man, I can't believe that. Just that little bit of. I mean, that's how important pit stops are to hit your marks. Because look at that gap that Ethan Thompson had.
Just a few moments turned into a whole world of difference.
Hunt got around Cochran. Gonna try and get something back out of this. Cochran's gonna come back. Good little battle here. So that's 5th and 8th, and I think Robert's just trying to, like, I don't know, Bradley Hunt right now running in the 5th spot really has no need to put, you know what I mean, be that racy with Cochran, kind of work with him a little bit and try and draft his way back to maybe the leaders and work his way around the leaders and try and get your lap back that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Cochran's had a pretty strong car, too.
Yeah, I think just pit strategy right now. He might have overshot his pit or something happened there, put him a lap down. Plus, they had a pretty big, the leaders had a pretty big gap on this when they went into the pit. So in between that, might have just overshot his pit, had a little bit of trouble, came back out to put him in 8th position one lap down. But these guys are definitely out there working it. I mean, they're doing what they're doing. You can see everybody out here.
Ryan Shelton is still in the hunt. He's closing the gap, but maybe not fast enough to get it done by the time that checker waits.
That. He faded. Alright, well, if you can still hear me out there, there's Ryan Shelton chasing down now to within just over or under 2.5 seconds. Ryan Boyd is now 14 seconds behind in 3rd. As you see, Ryan Shelton just trying to get on that draft and catch back up to Ethan Thompson. 26 to go. Still a lot of racing left. It's a big track.
Yeah, almost there.
So about 52 miles left. If you think about that, going to your local grocery store and back. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go, right? 52 miles away.
That's actually gained some time back on the leaders. About 10 seconds worth through that pit cycle. His last few laps.
He is on the move, and like I said, right now he's just catching that draft and off of Paul Vosberg, and that's kind of where you want to be as we see our 3rd place down. Did he not pit? That's kind of a late pit stop, isn't it? Because he stayed out. I thought he came to pit earlier. I don't know. Maybe something happened.
He's splitting his tires into 3 different segments.
So he's going to give up 3rd. That's going to give it back to Bisnet. By the time it's all said and done and shaken out. But then he has a chance, I guess, to get it back. He may not, maybe just fighting for 3rd at this point. In between him and Andy Bisnet. But he had quite a big lead on him. So I'm not sure why that strategy would come into play. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Bisnet did pit later on, but I thought maybe Brian Boyd taking another stop. I don't know. Their strategists, I guess, have that all figured out as to what it would be. Sometimes your strategists, you think they have it figured out, and then last minute things change.
Well, that will put Andrew Bisnet
Back in 3rd. He's just trying to get around Paul, who still is, I mean, you guys are definitely having a good night tonight. So Paul's back to 7th. Chuck is in, Bradley Hunt is in 5th, and those guys are
cars on pit.
Tanner Lee and Dan Barrier on pit road. So the gap just getting bigger and bigger in between Bisnet and Paul Vosberg. Ethan Thompson back up front, but Ryan Shelton's been chasing him down. 23 to go now. Getting closer.
That's the time to do it. Really, he's gonna have to be looking in that mirror, you know, once he gets around every corner and see how much closer that Ford is to his Chevy.
It's getting bigger in that mirror, I can tell you that. You're starting able to see that McConey setup shop getting bigger and bigger in his mirror. A little battle there. So right now about 6 car lengths apart, and Ryan closes in on the. He said every time you see Ryan Shelton close in, that's where he's gaining his time. He's able to outbrake, get a better entrance into turns 1 and 3. And then Ethan has a little bit bigger of a launch out of 2 and 4, but I think it's that outbraking, that ability to drive through that turn just a little bit. Maybe not so hard on the gas through those 1 and 3 that is the difference in each lap. It's not much, but it only takes a tenth, you know, thousandth of a tenth in each lap. So to slowly bring that guy in, as long as you're quicker on the overall. Plus you got that draft now. He's definitely got that draft on him.
Yeah.
And that's helping him out as well.
I was just gonna bring up the draft aspect of it. It'll help get you to the guy. It won't necessarily let you buy the guy. And I think as that Ford logo and that McConey logo do get bigger in that mirror, Ethan's got to be thinking about, okay, what line is Ryan running when he's not right behind him? Where does Ryan want to be? You try to take that line away from him when he gets there.
Right, that's the disadvantage of not having a live spotter in your. Because if you have a live spotter, I mean, and the guys in real racing, they'll say, okay, this guy is, I'm breaking you in 1 and 2. Maybe try digging a little deeper. We're taking a higher line. They'll be able to tell you where that, where they're gaining that advantage, or if there is anything that's happening out there where guys are slowing down. Without that information, you're kind of relying just on instinct and trying to adjust yourself, and that's especially comes into play here, I would think, more than here. A lot of the bigger tracks is where that would come into play more than a shorter track. Yeah, he's got him back in his sights again. So we're starting to look like, the old Top Gun Maverick dogfights here. Who's going to jump below the hard deck?
Yeah, this is for the lead.
So 2 of our airmen going at it. Top dogs of TDR, Ethan Thompson and Ryan Shelton. Good little battle. They've been, Shelton's pretty much got this one beat. He's pretty much passed everybody twice to get in this position that he's at. Ethan Thompson's pretty much been on top all night. Only fell back 1 position from the drop of the green flag and got it back.
Ryan Shelton.
That was to Ryan Shelton, right? And so Ryan's definitely the faster of the 2. It's been proven. So that Ford has been beating that Chevy all night long, and looks like it's going to be within the next lap or 2. Going to catch back up and make that run. You think Ryan's just now playing with Ethan maybe a little bit, putting a little bit of pressure, making sure you see if he makes a mistake?
I don't know about playing with him. I think maybe riding in that draft, saving a little bit of fuel in case we do end up with a green, white, checker situation. If he feels like he's got the faster car and he can pull off the pass with 5 to go, why do it now?
That's true, because it does give Ethan the drafting help. If you think about it, so if you pass him, yeah, it's going to give Ethan then the drafting help. It's going to give him the advantage to get up beside you and put you in a position like Devin Zimmerman had you earlier. Maybe try and take that side draft, and especially if you can catch up to him. You know what I mean? You don't want that too early, especially when you don't have the quicker car left.
I mean, really, Ethan's in the toughest spot here. He's burning the most fuel. He has the most pressure on him. I think, honestly, if you think your car can do it, maybe you wait towards the end of the race to make that final move instead of risk taking your both taking each other out, going forward a little too soon.
Right, as we saw, I just saw Ryan Shelton's car get a little loose going through that turn. You can see that separation now, just from getting a little bit loose. So,
Not as much
yeah.
separation as sliding through your pit stop.
Right?
Andrew Biznett
And,
still P3 on the lead lap.
yeah, 41 seconds. I mean, he fell back a couple seconds from where he was. Last time I think we paid attention, he was right around the 38, 39-second mark. So he fell back about 2 seconds over that little bit of time that we watched these leaders going back and forth. But this is definitely a strategy. Who's got the better strategy? Who's got the better? Well, we know that Ryan can get that run, but if he waits too late, that could hurt him. If he goes too early, that could hurt him. So when would be the best time to go? Plus, we've seen him actually get a little loose. You do it with one on the last lap? Do you wait to maybe try and pull it off on the last lap, or do you think you need to go a little bit earlier?
Well, it's also, I thought about what I said earlier about waiting to the end. It's also really hard to pass it sometimes. If you don't set it up just right, they could end up door handle to door handle for a few laps, and then it could be anybody's race.
So what do you think? About 5?
How about now?
About now, yeah, that's what he's thinking.
Think again.
You pull it down, I think, just to try and say, okay, maybe make that little bit of a intimidating move, kind of, you know, all right, I'm going to go now.
Or checking to see what Ethan's going to do. Is he going to drop down and block me? Is he going to give me a lane? Maybe collect some information for the move he's going to pull 10 laps from.
But if Ethan stays about a half a lane to a lane off the bottom, that's kind of like a good blocking move too. Because you can't really get that run. It's going to force him to either turn you, right? Or put it in a position where he could potentially take himself out. He's got the run. Side by side at the line. I mean, there's not much separation. It's going to drive on by now. 14 laps to go. Now Ethan's now in that catbird seat, because now he can get the draft off of Ryan and put the pressure back on him. But the only thing is, I noticed Ethan's car really, clean air seems to be king, especially for those front tires. So now that Ethan's lost that front air, you know what I mean? You're going to notice that he's going to, because he's so used to having that front air, it's going to take him a lap or two to try and get used to being behind somebody in that dirty air.
Kind of adjust to what the car feels like.
And then collect back up and try and make that run. See, I think he's learning. He learned a lot from when Ryan was behind him, because Ryan did the same thing, fell back a little bit, and then would pull back up. And it seems to be like that is what Ethan is now doing. He's falling back a little bit.
Almost like an aerodynamic.
Right. See how he gets that separation. Let him fall back. Let him get a run. And then just before he loses that draft, takes full advantage of it and sucks right back up to the back of the car. And I think that's going to be a move that Ethan needs to learn how to do, because he has had experience with that tonight, racing Ryan. Ryan has had all the experience coming through the field twice.
We're right. He's been in dirty air. He's been in clean air. He's been in mediocre air.
So now 12 laps to go. So we're coming down to the nitty gritty here. I think we should need to go through one more time here. We can come back and watch this one here. Watching the top 2 leaders, Ethan Thompson and Ryan Shelton. They're running 1 and 2. Those two are just going back and forth. Here's Andrew Biznett, who's now third, 43 seconds behind. Didn't quite fall a lap down, so on the lead lap. I believe he's the only one left on the lead lap tonight. And there's number 78, Brian Boyd, who's running in 4th spot. Had a good run going, stayed up in 3rd most of the night, got a little bit loose, took an extra pit stop, and I just kind of put him a lap down in that 4th position. There's Bradley Hunt, the other Mission 22 driver. And he's got a good run tonight. He's running in 6th spot, so Mission 22 is 4th and 5th. There's Chuck McDonough, our Canadian Forces driver. Chuck is right now running in the 6th position, 1 lap down. Couldn't quite get around Brian Boyd and Bradley Hunt to get that lucky dog back. And there's our number 21 on Captain Paul Wadsworth. Smokey the Bear on the hood, having a good run tonight in the 7th position. And there's the man of the hour, our mainstay, and that would be Robert Cochran out there in the Navy car, number 90. He's having a good night. He stayed out of trouble and just battled it out. Amy had a good battle going on with 3 or 4 cars earlier in the race.
Yeah, had a really strong car all night.
Still an 8th, I mean, can't really argue with that. Number 76 of Tanner Lee. Tanner Lee comes back out here after a few weeks off. He's had a little bit of trouble earlier, running 25 laps down. It's so good to see him out here getting that experience and putting down some laps with these guys. So hopefully he can come out here a little bit more and definitely work to get more towards the front.
Something else to the inside of Ryan Shelton.
So he did learn from those what Shelton has done to him twice tonight. Now he's going to put it down on side by side going down the back stretch. 10 laps to go. Going into turn number 3, they got lap traffic in front of them. But Ethan has a preferred line. Ryan's going to pinch him down there, not let him get up. And I think they may have just barely touched, if at all.
A little bit.
Looked like there might have been a little bit of a dent on that door there, but Ryan now, Ethan Thompson back up front. So you got a battle right now going on. Good battle is Ethan's going to take that air away. Wow, that was a good move there to kind of block him and take him in. Force him down. That's that old Indy car. Definitely that train that you see here at Indy's. 9 laps to go. There's definitely a good top spot, top dog fight. TDR is Ethan Thompson now leads Ryan Shelton by just over 2 runs. But that gap is going to start closing, and we've seen it happen before. Yeah, right.
Ryan Shelton's walking all the way up to that wall.
Yeah,
so,
he's
so close. I thought he scraped it a couple times.
It looked like it, that's for sure. Getting that. Ooh, right. Like, got a little bit loose there. That's going to lose a little bit of momentum, so. But he catches that draft. Gonna dive down, look underneath him, going down in turn number 1, gets that quarter pounder. He's going to get it back now. As they do the crossover move, now here comes. Ooh, Ethan's. Ethan pushing a little bit too hard going in there, but I think that was just a wash from the back of that number 99 car.
Yeah, I think Ethan actually had to get the throttle a little bit on that one.
Didn't let them really get him way too much, but now they're coming up on lap traffic, so this is going to play into effect because they are going to use that lap traffic's draft to catch up. So depending on what Ryan does, is going to dictate what Ethan does. So Ethan is now putting that pressure on Ryan going down. But you got that weight coming off of Paul Vosberg's car right there. And that's definitely helping out Ryan Shelton pull him away. So Ethan, if he pulls out now, he's going to lose that momentum that he has. They're going to have to wait till they both clear Paul Vosberg before he makes that run. I'm not sure if Ethan maybe just getting down there just trying to get some clean air. So that way his car turns a little bit better considering when he's in dirty air, that car tends to push up and get a little tight. Going down and turn him through for 7 to go. Yeah, it's definitely, that's that draft that they get caught up to. Like I say, I think Ethan may just have dove down underneath, maybe not trying to make passes, just trying to get some clean air on the front of that vehicle. So that way it sticks a little bit.
Ryan
So
Got the wall there.
I was holding my breath for Paul because that didn't look too good. So as they head down the back stretch now, 6 to go now. It's looks like clear traffic ahead, so it's going to be who's got the momentum, who can utilize it, and who learned from what, and on what lap it's going to happen. It seems to me like turn number 3 seems to be the place to pass, because once you get past them on turn 3, you seem to be able to carry that momentum back to the start-finish line. If you pass them and coming out of turn number 2, you still have that whole back stretch there. So you go down the front stretch and come back with 5 laps to go this time. 5 laps to go. Ryan Shelton, Ethan Thompson are right there battling out. Good little battle going up front.
See the gap that the wax is lane there. Their respective parts of the track better gap.
It seems like if you have that draft, you're able to have a better entry, but your exit speed doesn't seem to be that great if you're in second, but it's reverse for the for the leader who's got all that air. You know what I mean? Hits that brakes hit, trying to hit the mark. So it's kind of like a give and take. It's almost like a push on which position you're in. But if you can get that draft, that's where it helps everybody, is that draft going into the turn, because you carry more speed going into it. And that's where these guys have been able to swap the lead, because right about, say, the 300 feet mark, 300 foot mark is where they usually start to make that move to dive down to the bottom.
4 to go. 3.5 now on the back stretch.
Kind of like a heavyweight battle, and they both got each other up against the ropes, and who's going to take it home tonight. So definitely a good little battle in between Shelton. Excellent racing, definitely. Between the two of them, Jim chimes in, absolutely. These guys are putting pressure on each other, showing us how to do it. Who's got the run in there? 2 of the best that we have out here in the TDR League right now. As we got our champion, Ethan Thompson, looking for his repeat champion. 3 to go at the line, chasing down Ryan Shelton, who has just come out here and dominated in some races. And tonight just seems to be one of those. It's a good race. Definitely a good race in between these two for the lead. And there you see him just closing that gap. Now he's right on that back bumper again. Going to try take it down. I was right at about the 300 mark. Ooh, and there's Ryan trying to break that draft coming off. Oh, not going to be able to. Yep, so that's that gap going down to the 300 foot mark down into the turn. But he broke the draft to break it up. Nice little battle. Coming in 2 to go at the line. It's going to be just like following in those. Just following in those tire tracks. Not really too much of a gap you see there, but when you get a wider shot, you can see where the closing rate is. It's right there. Gamian gets right up, and then
Go.
yeah, there's not too much time left to be making a move. So it's going to come down to Ethan's putting that pressure on, trying to get underneath him. Ryan gets up a little bit, gives him that room. But it's that, here comes Ethan Thompson now underneath as they're side by side going down the front stretch. Ryan falls in behind. Ethan gets the lead now on the last lap. Now it's all on. Last lap of the race. This is it. This is a battle of the big boys in between Ethan Thompson, Ryan Shelton. Ryan pushing that gap in between a half a car length. Going to really take it high this time. Put that pressure on. Ethan kind of lets that car roll through a little. Ooh.
Oh, a little loose there.
Oh, they both get loose. That's going to, no, that was a push because Ethan and Ryan both got a little bit loose going through there on that last lap. But the gap is just, I think, a little bit too much now to overcome, as Ethan Thompson has a 2-car length lead, and there seems to be where you need to make that pass or start to make the pass. and just not able to get it done. Ryan Shelton, Ethan Thompson, and that's going to be it. I don't think he has enough to make it there, so Ethan Thompson's going to come around. Ooh, Ryan gets a pushing
Using
a
all
little bit
that track.
too much, trying to get as much as he can, but congratulations, Ethan Thompson. Great racing in between Ethan Thompson and Ryan Shelton on that last lap. They really went for it there. Both of them got loose. Everything played out perfectly. So excellent racing tonight in between the two top dogs. Ethan Thompson over Ryan Shelton. Brian Boyd brings it home third. Got around Andrew Biznett, who falls in the fourth spot. Bradley Hunt remains in fifth spot. So that was a good run for him as he come across the line. Chuck McDonald in sixth, and Paul Vosberg, great run, brings it home another top 10 and seventh spot. So Paul's got a good set of run here as we see Tanner Lee doing a little bit of dirt track in there and finally gets it around.
I saw him having some fun. I figured we'd watch that for a second.
Right, as you see here. So Ryan Shelton burned down at the other end, but here we go. Ethan Thompson's going to come back to the line and spin it around. So Robert Cochran 8th, Tanner Lee 9th, Evan Zimmerman 10th, Todd Danbury as 11th. That's your final running order for this evening. As there's Ethan Thompson burning it down on the front stretch. What a race tonight, man. I'll tell you what, that was some good battling in between Ethan and Ryan there at the end. So let's see if we can't dial up our winner here and get his thoughts on the evening. So Ethan, Jay up in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, what a race tonight. Whew, I'll tell you what, those last few laps, you guys really swapping the lead. How'd it look from your angle?
That was intense.
a man of many words.
Well, I'm telling you what, it was intense from up here. It looked very fun, though. I mean, you guys swapping the lead. Did you learn anything? Because you led quite a bit, and then Ryan was right there, got around you. Were you studying him in your mirror?
So I got to the end where I honestly didn't want to be in the lead anymore. I didn't want to be in the lead because I felt like I would have to pace faster than I really wanted to, and burn my stuff up. I figured if he was in front of me, as long as I had the draft and can stay within like point 0.2 of him, I could, ease off into the corners a little bit more and not burn up my stuff versus if I was in front, then I was always going to be feeling like, okay, I have to stay in front and in order to keep him from getting by me. And then I finally made the move and got by him with about 8 to go, I think. And then I was worried that I did it too soon.
Right.
And then obviously he got back by me again, but I could see that I still was a little bit faster than him, especially in turn one. Like turn one was a huge significant difference between the two of us. And then, fortunately, I was able to get back by it at just the right time because I was definitely running out of time.
Right. No, but it was definitely a good race for between you and Ryan Shelton tonight. Ryan pretty much passed the entire field twice to get through you, and then looks like he had a little bit of a lead. And then on that pit stop there, uh, you got to a huge lead, and then he still caught back up to you. So, but man, what a way to hold him off.
Yeah,
That
great
last
job.
run was really fun to watch. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you do. I'm sure you got some sponsors on your car you'd like to thank.
Yeah, well, first off, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys up there in the booth and the comments. I look forward to going back and watching the broadcast. So big thanks to Back Sports, Back Charities, and TDR. Always have them riding along with the car to show support. Um, and then showing support to Civil Air Patrol, and then my primary Maconi setup shop. Got them on the rear bumper, rear fascia, whatever term they want to use these days.
Fascia.
So, yeah, right,
Too European for stock car.
yeah.
Right.
Next, we're gonna have bonnets and windscreens.
Right. And halos.
The fuel
No,
tank's
but
in the
man,
boot.
Right? But no, I mean, what a run tonight. Congratulations on your win. This extends out your points lead. Devin had some issues, looks like, tonight. Had to follow out earlier. So going in with only a few laps left, I believe it's your championship to lose right now. So congratulations on that. Keep up the good work. Any final words before you go back down and celebrate with the guys?
Uh, just to say thanks again, and shout out to Boyd, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that soldier's name. I think it was Sarah.
Sergeant Fred
Um,
Arcera.
yeah, our Sarah, not a Sarah. Um, so and then it's nice that to do stuff like this to bring some awareness and whatnot. So um, just throwing some love there towards Boyd, because I know that it's something that hit hard towards him in his personal life. So
Hmm.
Hey, buddy. Well, you have a good week, and we shall see you next week out here. Keep up the good work. Great racing tonight. Glad to see you're winning. And keep it up.
appreciate it, guys. See you next week.
You got it.
We got
So,
we
yeah, I
got
mean, that
Ryan
was.
Shelton down there.
I believe we have Ryan Shelton down here. I gotta try come down. It's hard to run from victory lane and try and catch him before he jumps in the hauler.
I know the feeling.
All right, I think I caught up to him at the hauler. Ryan, Jay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hello, how are you, man? I mean, that was a great run. You passed the field twice, got up at the front, had some good racing. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, it was overall a good night. I was able to pass the field twice. So I was able to get up there. Just I ran my tires out too early. Just trying to catch them all three times. It's the mistake in the pit road really pushed me back more than I wanted to be.
We saw that.
So yeah, just too far forward. I practiced pit entry. I hadn't practiced an actual pit stop. So that's on my to-do list next week. Um,
Well, one of those
but
takeaways, it was incredible how much time that little bit on pit road cost you in actual track time.
oh yeah, it was a lot. I mean, he came in behind me, like right behind me, but it was 2 seconds. I had to make it all up, and wearing your tires out like that, just right at the very end of the race, just killed me. I just missed the turn four, and he got up underneath me and ran away with it.
Well, you guys had a really good battle there on that last lap. You were giving it everything that you had, and it looked like Ethan just got a little bit loose and it kind of like muted it all out. And
Yeah,
then I'm not sure what happened on that backstretch on the last lap, but you kind of lost a little bit more time than you wanted to.
yeah, I just got super loose coming out of two, and it really sucks because I watched him get loose right in front of me. And I knew that if I had just gotten through the corner correctly, probably would have had a chance at passing him again. Pretty wild race, though. It's probably the biggest battle I think we've had, like car to car, because it normally seems that one of us will make a mistake or one of us is just dominant and just runs away with it. But this
Well, you
was
did have
pretty
a,
neck and neck.
considering where you started, I mean, you took your EOL, you ran through the field. About 40 laps ago, you were back fighting for position there. And then, well, Devin Zimmerman earlier, when you got to him, I guess it maybe looked like he was trying to just side draft you a little bit. Did you pinch down or what happened with that?
It just looks like he was trying to side draft and hold his position because Zimmerman is a very aggressive driver, and I have nothing against him. Just it sucks it was that early in the race, and I felt like that was going to be my position to do a weird pit strategy to try to get up front. Um, but that wreck really put everybody into a box of pitting on with them about 1 or 2 laps. So it really screwed up pit strategy and what I could have done to really gotten ahead to where I could just save my stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he was
Right.
just trying to side draft, so I ain't
You
mad
didn't
at him.
come down, he didn't get you loose or anything?
Oh, it definitely got me loose, 100%. That was
Okay.
that was definitely that was definitely bumper to quarter. It was that
Right.
was I that was pit pit maneuver if I've ever seen it. So, but I don't think it was intentional. I think he was just
No, I think he was
trying
just
to.
trying to, yeah, just
Yep.
trying to take that and
Did
pull you
everything
back a
he
little
could.
bit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it looked
But
like from up here.
yeah, the thing is here, I tried to do it a couple of times with Chuck just before I got to him, and I knew it wasn't going to work because the draft is so powerful at this track. So, is what is. You know, happened to wreck. So,
But
but
to come
second
back,
place isn't
almost
bad.
win it. I mean, he came back, almost win it, led a few laps. I mean, had a great battle with Ethan at the end. So, yeah,
Yep.
pretty much no harm, no foul. That's why we have the, that's why we had the quick repair.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So,
Well, Ryan, it's good for you. I'm sure you got a few sponsors you'd like to thank.
yep. McConaughey Setup Shop, Rosie Gloves, and as always, my wife for allowing me to do this.
We thank your wife for allowing you to do
Bless
this
her
as
heart.
well. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
So thanks for sharing. You tell her from up in the booth, me and Tommy both tell her thank you for sharing you with us every Monday night to come out here and race and put on a show for these guys and show for us because it was actually fun racing tonight. Watching two of the top dogs actually go at it. You and Zimmerman were up there battling it out earlier, and it's a shame he had some issues because I think it would have been a good night to watch the three of you battle it out at the
Oh
very end.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, have a good week, and we will see you next week, hopefully.
Oh yeah. At Richmond.
Yep, at Richmond. Your favorite track, isn't it?
It's not. It's not necessarily my favorite track, but last year had success. So trying to go back to back, trying to do the repeat. So
Well, there you go. Well, you're on a roll. I mean, you're up there battling for position. You had a great night tonight, so
absolutely.
I'm no mistaken about it. I think Tommy will agree that we will see you probably battling in for the lead again next week.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. Trying to.
All right, have a good week, bud.
Take
All
care,
right,
buddy.
see.
What a race! What a race! What a race! And then there's I'll tell you what, Ethan Thompson, Ryan Shelton are probably two of the classiest guys that you're ever going to meet.
Yep.
They battled it out. And like you said, they're just pushing it, and they pushed it. And when two guys push it with the top dogs like that, you see what happens. And you know, is everybody makes a mistake, even the big boys. So let's bring Brian Boyd up here. I know it was a big night for him as well because he finished third.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a podium finish.
Right? And if I can, I don't know if I'm. Oop. All right, well, maybe not.
No. Turned off the helmet mic already.
Yep, I don't. All right, well,
Well, sometimes that happens. This is live
sometimes
TV.
that happens. All right. Yeah, live TV. All right, let's try and get our fourth base position up here. Andrew Bisnet. See if we can talk to him. If I can catch up with him before he packs up his hauler. Andrew, this is Jay up in the booth. Got a copy? Andrew
Mr.
Bisnet, Jay.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, I
there-
got you.
There you are.
There you are. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to the booth, buddy. Man, fourth place finish. You had a off strategy there. Not sure really what that was about, but how'd your night go after that?
It wasn't an off strategy. I got loose with 5 laps ago coming out of I think it was turn. I don't know what turn it was. Might have been 1 or 3. A turn I wasn't getting a whole lot loose out of, and I overcorrected it back into the wall, so I had to come in to get the meatball flag repaired, unfortunately. But tonight wasn't bad. I tried something I don't do too often. And that's save the tires a little more. Backing up into the corner a little bit, and it worked out pretty decently, at least for the first run. That caution came out kind of at an interesting time because it was close on fuel for some folks, and it wasn't too bad, but it was close enough, too close for comfort, let's say. But it was good racing. There was some good hard racing, especially at the end. I was actually had the live stream up on my second monitor while I was racing because Shelton was telling me everything that was going on. So I was like, I'll watch and see what these guys are doing. And it was. I hope it was as
getting
exciting
after
for what
it.
you were watching as what we were.
Oh yeah, I mean we had Thompson and Shelton battling it out. I mean you just like almost kind of like watching the Jurassic Park movie. There's really nothing going on, but you could see them thinking about what they're going to do and then trying to determine on when they're going to do it. So
Right.
yeah, no, I mean it was a really good battle up front. Really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a fun race. It was I kind of expected it to have the long stretch there, and kind of just it gave all of us a chance to kind of get settled in there. The tires, um, after about I'd say about 6 or 7 laps, they got to a comfortable spot where then you get that comfortable area where they're worn out but they're okay warmed out. And then by the time you get past like 15 laps, it's just like, okay, just hold on now until we got to come in another 20 something laps and get fuel and tires. But no, it was a good time. I like Indy. I like this track, and next week everybody's going to pretty much the polar opposite. I won't be there unfortunately next week, but Richmond's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to miss you next week, that's for sure. Put on a good show. I mean, that's going to kind of put a damper in your standings there because, I mean, brought home another top 5 in 4th position, so you're on a roll. I'm sure you got some sponsors you'd like to thank while you're up here.
As always, I know you guys do the sponsor at the beginning. One of the big ones, Maconi. Um, I race in the the Class C Open. The trucks, the Open, and obviously you can change just about anything you want in there. And the Maconi setups are always spot on. Maybe a little change for tape depending on how hot the track is, but they keep you up there. Give you a chance to win. That's really all you can ask for is to be racing up with some of the it doesn't matter what split you're in. There's always somebody who's going to win who's one of the top people in the split. So anything that can keep you up there. Jeff's a great guy. I've messaged him a couple times asking him about setups and stuff, and he's always really friendly about that and getting back to you. So anybody out there who's looking to get a leg up on everybody who's not using the setups, go check out Maconi setup shots. You're not going to find anything better out there.
Okay, Tommy, I know question is for you, but what's up with the camouflage with the pink and the green?
So when we did all these paint schemes, and actually I'm going to give my hand at trying to do them myself because I've never really done one myself. I asked, I think it was Ethan, when we were making all these, can you keep the colors I had? Because I had the pink and the bright green, and this is the best. This is what he was able to come up with, so to keep the colors so they don't clash too much with each other with the paints. So. And I mean, come on, you can see my car in a lineup pretty good right there with the bright colors, right? You're not going to miss
Well,
that one
as I said.
on the front stretch.
That's what I told Tommy. I was like, you can see it from a satellite in your car. You always know where you're at on track, so that's part of the, you're not blending in the pack, you're standing out. But no,
Absolutely.
But Tommy always wanted to know what's up with it, so we figured we'd come to the sources to figure it out. So.
The clashing of the camo and like the opposite of camo.
The best thing is too, though, I changed my paint scheme for the truck series. I went from pretty much the exact same colors to an all black with like a couple pink highlights on it. So, like if you saw that coming down there, it'd be like, okay, it's just another random black car instead. So, kind of run the gambit on them.
Right. All right. Well, congratulations on your 4th. We're gonna miss you definitely next week. So
see you for Talladega.
Have a good
though, right?
couple weeks, yeah, and we'll see you in Talladega.
Talladega, and yes, and we're gonna have a non-points race on Labor Day. I don't know what the plan is for the broadcast or not. It's just going to be, it may end up just being a hosted session separate from the league, but it's going to be, we're going to run the Cadillac CTS. I think it's technically a GT car at Daytona.
What?
Not the road course, the oval.
Not
So.
Irwindale with the jump.
No, we're not. We're gonna skip the jumpy cars. We're gonna. I figured we'd go with something that I had some recent experience in jumping into a hosted session with. Something B that it's one of the cars that's included with iRacing, so that way nobody has to go out and buy something special.
Okay, well that's a good deal.
That'll be fun.
Absolutely. All right, bud. Well, I'm up in your neck of the woods. Actually, I'm in Waterbury, Vermont, and heading over towards Burlington for the next few days for heading out. But no, so yeah, you got some good weather up here. Might have to maybe think about moving my production studio up here.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to be at the Champlain Valley Expo sometime this coming weekend, let me know, and I'll meet up with you sometime.
All right, brother. Well, I'll catch up to you definitely through the rest of the week. Have a good one, and congratulations, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. You guys have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Yeah. back now.
Well, sir.
And I think did see Boyd say that he was available. So let me see if I can
Yeah, let's get him up
run
here.
around and find him really quick. Before he jumps in the hauler and runs away. I caught him at the hot dog stand. Brian, Jay up in the
Well,
booth. You got a copy?
what's up, gentlemen?
Yeah, I caught you right before you got that hot dog. Sorry about that. So
You
welcome to the
did,
booth.
you did. Hey, thank you.
Third spot. Great,
Yeah, good
great run
finish.
tonight.
Hey, thank you, guys. It fell just a tad bit shy though. I went with a different pit strategy. Me and the guy that was spotting for me, I had to shout him out, Jordan Smeets. Uh, those guys had to been like sketchy close on fuel because I only had 5 laps left and I pitted long after they did. So they had to be sketchy low.
Right.
Like maybe half a lap or a lap to the good at best.
That's plenty.
I was sitting
Yeah,
there
that's fine.
I was chomping at the
To
at
the
the
good
bit.
means to the good.
Right.
I was hoping to see him pull off to the side. I made my bet. I decided, look, third place is a good points finish. Uh, I did what I wanted to do, keep my car out front, represent my friend, Fred Acera. He he was a really good friend. For years, we served together, probably 8.5, almost 9 years at 844 before that unfortunate set of circumstances took place. So uh, I think his mom came in for a little bit. She texted me and told me that she was watching it a little bit, but uh, I did what I wanted to do. Get him some exposure and some honor, and that's really what it meant to me. I wouldn't have cared if I finished last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
you did a really great job tonight bringing home third. You were out front. I mean, you ran second for a while. I mean, so you did have a good, decent car tonight. You were able to run with the leaders for a good portion of the race, and there for a while. You were looking pretty good, and still bringing it home third. I mean, podium spot. You really can't argue with that.
No, sir. I'm excited for my third place finish, man. Progress is progress. You can't beat it, whether it's inches or miles.
That's right. So absolutely. I'm sure you got some more sponsors you'd like to shout out.
Well, of course, Mission 22 for doing what they do for vets to stop what happened to my friend. Um, they tried their best to put him in a better place mentally. Uh, they're non for profit, so they do what's within their means. So if anybody that's watching wants to donate to them, they're on Facebook. It can be a penny, it can be $1, it can be whatever you decide. Every bit goes directly to that cause. Like I said, again, they're a non for profit. Then I gotta thank McConey Setup Shops. Those guys just, I don't think Biznet could have hit it any better on the head. Uh, they're spot on, man. They put you there. They put you in a position, and you just got to be able to drive, and you'll get that win with the McConey Setup Shop. I know this because I think I'm sitting on, since I took McConey Setup Shop, I'm sitting on like at least 30 officials, top 3.
Nice.
Good.
I can't complain about that. And then Wounded Warriors, just because they're not an official sponsor, but they they do a lot for the soldiers as well. Everything from Walter Reed, from the time they get home from Walter Reed until the time that they finish their rehab, and then even after that. And then you guys doing what you do. Uh, if it wasn't for you, you guys, we wouldn't have people watching us. They wouldn't see some of the causes that we're running, and what we're doing for people as a whole. I mean, not just charities and stuff like that, but giving the veterans that, all veterans, I don't care who they are, they got that dark spot in their life, right? So this gives them that escape from reality, or that escape from that negativity that they may or may not be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys keep doing what you're doing, because uh, you're you're the leader in the pack in my eyes, getting these guys uh, an open avenue that's full of positives. And then,
Absolutely.
Tyler, that's what Tyler Daniels Racing's all about. I'm new to the league. I'm new to the group. But man, anybody's watching it wants to race. these guys are just an awesome group as a whole. Not just the vets, everybody across the board. Jim Downham, Jay Downham, you, Jay, uh,
Jay's here tonight.
Andrew, Andrew Shaner. You know, Andrew Shaner. What he does by, putting the track days together for everybody. No one sees how much work that man puts in for this stuff, or
Absolutely.
anybody. You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
you, Tommy, doing all the PR stuff. I couldn't imagine having that headache, man. But you do it. You guys all do it, and you rock at it. So we got to thank you guys as a whole, everybody. Anybody that races in this league, man, you got to tip your hat to TDR and the admins. These guys are spot on.
Well, we appreciate that, and we also appreciate your service and everything that you do, and being an advocate for Mission 22, being an advocate for TDR. You're just as much as an important part of it as we are, and we do this out of because we enjoy it. Me and Tommy love coming out here, calling you guys, seeing you guys race, watching racing tracks and things like that. So and promoting everything. This is our little way of giving back. For the service that we weren't able to provide, this is our way of giving back to you for everything that you guys give to us, and we couldn't thank you more as well.
Oh
And
man, I remember watching the first race. Well, it was the last race of last season, but the first race I watched, I was jumping at the bit. I was like, man, these guys are cool. If you're not, if you're watching, you don't let anything stop you. Join the group on Facebook. Do what you got to do. You know, the admins will lead you. They'll set the road in front of you. It's so much fun. You can't find a better league.
Absolutely.
abs. Well, I think we also have a famous race car driver tell us the same thing.
We do.
Michael
Michael
Waltrip. Yep. Michael Waltrip said we're the best league in iRacing. So, absolutely. But no, Brian, I know there was a heaviness on your heart tonight, especially for your friend, and we were glad to do an honor on lap 22 for Mission 22 as well for that. And look forward to seeing you race next week. Keep it up. Keep up the great job you're doing, not only with the vets, but everything that you're also doing for TDR to keep us going. And like I said, you're a big part of it now, so we appreciate everything that you do.
Well,
On that
thank
note,
you.
I'm going to move you back down so you can celebrate your third place victory and got a podium spot, so you can catch maybe some of the champagne that drips off of Ethan Thompson's nose and call it good from there.
Hey,
But no, but
I
yeah,
had
absolutely, we love you.
I had a catbird seat watching that battle, man. That was awesome. I was telling the guy that's spotting for me, I was like, all right, Ethan's down low. He's passing. Oh, wait. Ryan's back down low. He's passing. I said, I watched them get side by side so many times. I was like, I don't know who's passing who now.
Oh,
It
it was
was,
a great battle. Like I said, you could almost see like them thinking and who was going to do what when, and you were just like waiting for that to happen. So it was kind of awesome.
I was like, yes, race, run out of fuel, please.
And you're sitting right there. Yeah, I got this. No, but Brian, man, we love you up here. Absolutely, and can't wait to see you next week at Richmond. Hopefully, we can keep up that momentum. And you're heading right now for maybe a podium spot for the championship on your first run out. So
I'm hoping. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to keep it. You know, I don't want to be my demise to cause somebody else's demise. So I'm just doing the best I can. If I wreck myself, to make it myself and not somebody else too. So I don't want to mess up. Like I get really nervous around Ethan and them and Zimmerman because I know those guys are fighting hard for that lead.
Right.
Biznett, man, I love the man. He does a lot for the Vets League, but I ain't cutting him no slack moving forward.
There you go. So
I won't wreck
All
him, but we're gonna have fun.
that's right. You just make it harder. That's all. Just make it hard to pass. You don't have to make it easy on them. Just make it harder to pass. That's all.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Have a good week, and glad we could help you out tonight. And
Yeah. thank
hopefully
you
we
guys
have a
so
better
much.
week, and we will talk to you next one.
Yes, sir. You have a good week.
You as
Take care,
well.
buddy.
Hey, bye.
All right, so there it is from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the big round oval, if that's what you want to call it.
I think it's more of a rectangle.
A rectangle, okay, with rounded edges. That works.
Yes.
that has 4 golf holes in the side, the middle of it. So yeah, 2.5 miles. I mean, what a race tonight! Ethan Thompson over Ryan Shelton by. I mean, that last lap could have gone either way for either one of those drivers. They both got loose a couple times around the track, just fighting for everything they had. But great finish.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ethan, on your win. Ryan Shelton. No, it's not the finish you wanted. You were right there. Definitely class of the field. Drove through it twice, almost 3 times. Regained the lead. Just didn't have enough there at the end. Brian Boyd, another podium finish. You can't. I'm telling you, he is like a sleeper. He's getting better and better and better. Um, I foresee a win in his future coming up really soon. If not the next couple of races, I'd say probably by mid-season next season, we'll
Oh
definitely
yeah,
see his
he's
name
getting
in
there.
victory circle. Andrew Bisnett, I mean, bringing it home fourth, had a little bit of a strategy, but like I said, he's trying to save tires. He's good for saving fuel, not good at saving tires. Tried to save tires tonight. New strategy, but still brought it home fourth. I mean, another top 5, so he's still hanging in there. Unfortunately, he's going to miss Richmond, so that may be the difference in between Brian Boyd putting on the podium spot. So we shall see how that's all going to play out tonight or next week and the rest of the season. And we go. Then else we got the wild card. Chuck McDonald, I mean, brought it home fifth. So considering everything that happened on pit road, had a little bit of an issue, still brought it home fifth. I mean,
Yeah,
good run for him.
great recovery from those minor incidents.
And then Bradley Hunt bringing it home in sixth position. Really didn't. He was battling early. Had a real good battle with Paul Fosberg, brought it home seventh, and Captain Paul brings home another top 10 and a solid top 10 in seventh position over Robert Cochran, he was battling out with Bradley Hunt and them early. So I mean, they had a really good run tonight. Tanner Lee had issues from the start with Todd Danbury. Fell 25 laps down, but still ended up finishing the race. So good to see him go out there and just persevere. Devin Zimmerman running in that, he was running down Ethan. And unfortunately, I guess some internet issues had happened and had that early incident with Ryan Shelton. But like I said, that was just an accident. That was just racing. He was just trying to take away that air, that side draft, and just happened to get into him. Um, it's one of those deals,
Yeah.
but definitely not intentional at all. I can guarantee that. So it's sad to see that. And unfortunately, that's going to put Ethan Thompson with a huge lead going into the rest of the championship. So I believe Ethan Thompson, barring any issues, shows up every week, puts down solid laps, and continues at the run he's on. He's going to be the champion this year. But it's not over until checker flag falls on the last race. We've all seen stuff happen. And then Todd Banbury came out. Had good to see Todd out here. He comes out, he puts down some laps, and he's a tough customer. But he had some issues early with Tanner Lee, and he fell out early as well. So, it's your final running order tonight. Tommy, any last words?
Yeah, we go to Richmond next week, as you like to say, same back time, same back channel, 8:15 Eastern on Monday. That would be 8:29, I believe. And then we take a week off for Labor Day weekend, so everyone can go out there and enjoy the freedoms that these heroes at home and abroad fought so hard for. And then the week after that, we have that extended length race at Talladega. That's going to be a great one to watch. You don't want to miss that on 9/12. Followed the next week by the season finale in Michigan. As always, a shout out to our sponsors: Back Charities, Makoni Setup Shops, B&B Racing Wraps, etc. On that note, Jay, it was a pleasure sharing the booth with you, and we will see you guys soon.